Hello everyone, in this video we are going to understand the pino-logger and implement the pino-logger in an existing project. So basically pino-logger is a faster logger we use to log any sort of error, any sort of warning, any sort of output. Usually for logs we use console.log, but console.log is good for debugging purpose. If we talk about production, in production level we need to implement an structured output to show that the user can understand it. That's why pino-logger is fast, it has structured output, and it has also some log labels like warning, errors, and success. So today we are going to implement the pino-logger in our existing project. First we need to implement the packages. Pino-http, first we have Pino, which is a simple package, the overall instance of Pino. Then we have the pino-http. Pino-http is is for Express.js, and it implements the logs in each and every request, the sending and receiving in our Express backend. And the pino-pretty, it is the most important. It produces an human readable output. So first we need to make a file logger.js. So now we need to import Pino from Pino, import Pino from Pino. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi. Now we have to check our environment. We have two types of environment. First is development and the other is production. In development environment, we normally write the code, test the code, but in production, our project or software is ready to use and the users are used. So in production, as we talked earlier, that in production we use the pino-pretty for human readable output. So on this product equal to process. Not the Now we are going to make an instance of Pino so we can use this instance in our overall backend. So here we have to check the level, we have certain levels in our production. Now we need to check the level. As we discussed, we have certain level, the debug info. Normally, the debug we used in our development, development environment, but in production we use the info. This is ternary operators. Base is is the root where we need to implement the logger. In our project, this is backend. In the whole backend, we have to implement the logger. This is timestamp. Basically, normally the logger is produced by default Unix time, which is difficult to understand as a human. So we need to use the ISO time here. Then we have the most important part is redact. Redact, and basically redact, we hide the sensitive information like the authorization, the token, password from our console. So when we log anything, it hides sensitive information as we write about. Now we have transport. Basically, we use the transport. First, we need to check that is our level is production or development. When it is development, we just use the undefined. But when we are in production, we need to show the human readable output, human readable logs, the colorized logs to the user. And we already learned it above that for human readable logs, we use the pino-pretty. We, we need some colorized logs. That's why we make it true. And our time should be standard. Here, we ignore the host name because in production, the host name, the host ID, they are just noisy. ID dot host name. So let me check above. All are okay. I think all are okay. So now, first we need to make an env file. It's actually there, but there's some more thing. So first we make a node. Okay. And so now we need to implement in login route. So here is my login route. We need to remove this first, this response, which is normally we use. Let me first import it. Import logger from config logger. If our password is matched, we need to log the user. Log.info. Normally we use the token here, but the token is a sensitive thing, and from the token we not trace the user. If we log the user ID or the user email, later on we can trace the user activity as well. So that's why we are log the user ID here. And also if the user is failed, so when the user try to log in but they are failed, we console a warn. Basically, this thing also help us when someone try to log in multiple time, like 1,000 times in a minute. So the system warned us that there's something suspicious, and we can trace back the user. User login failed. Yeah. In a cache block, we also need to implement the logger.error. So now we need to import this logger in our main file, the server.js, and have to use it. First, we need to import the pino-http, pino-http, for so in this video, we learned how to implement the logger in our system. Here we need to fix some issues. First, this is path, singular. Second, is cookie, not the cookie. And third, this is only the host name, not the PID host name. And this is lower I, lower L, not the I. So, in this video, we have learned how to implement cleaner logger in any existing project. Fusion logger is not only for the login, it is for the whole backend, for any type of activity you want to log. Thanks so much. Allah